It's common knowledge to everyone that plays Overwatch that some heroes are just better than others for many different reasons. Support heroes like Baptiste and Brig are always going to rank higher than Lifeweaver because they have higher healing and damage outputs than him, and Zenyatta is usually regarded as one of the worst supports because his healing output is terrible. Even though his ult is amazing and his damage output and kill potential is like no other support in the game. Another one of these support characters that I see getting thrown under the bus, more so in the lower ranks, is Lucio. Personally, I think this isn't fair, as Lucio is actually super strong for his own reasons. Speed boost is a blessing and comes in clutch in some situations, and pretty much all of his kit has the potential to change the flow of the game to work in your team's favour. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can carry your team to a dub with Lucio, by explaining when you should be boosting or healing to telling you how you should be using boop. By the end of this video, you should be feeling a lot more confident in your ability to destroy the enemy team as Lucio. But first, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as I want to continue making Overwatch 2 related content that's not only entertaining, but educational too. First things first, kit breakdown. His gun is super simple to understand. All it does is fire a volley of bullets with primary fire, but using your alternate trigger/mouse button, he will use Soundwave, more commonly known as boop, which does a little bit of damage, but most importantly does knockback, allowing you to push enemies off of the objective or even the map itself. He has two other abilities, these being Crossfade, which allows you to swap from healing your teammates to making your teammates move faster and vice versa, and Amp It Up, which increases the effectiveness of whichever ability you're using, healing or speed boost. He also has a passive that lets him ride along walls. By doing so, he moves a bit faster and is able to get to some specific places on the map much easier. My first tip for learning how to play Lucio is to think about which ability you're going to be using and which circumstances it's going to be beneficial in. You don't need to constantly be healing your teammates as a pocket and hiding behind them to make sure they stay alive. Lucio works much better when played with an aggressive playstyle, so speed boost is going to be your best friend for getting in and out of these fights. Think of Lucio as a very restricted tracer. He has the movement and damage output to dive enemies and get quick kills, and he can heal himself whilst he gets back to the backline. Obviously, it's better to do this as a unit with your team rather than just going in alone. But if you're feeling confident, then you can totally go in and destroy the enemy backline single-handedly. Just swap between healing and speed as and when you need it, basically. There's no point healing a teammate who's already full health, so speed boost them into battle. This is how I was able to get more kills than our Mei in this game in the background. I got aggressive and went in to secure kills, and in turn that added value to the match and helped us win the match. My second tip for learning how to play Lucio is to learn how to boop efficiently. Boop is an amazing ability and can be used to both flat out kill enemies with the environment by pushing them off the map, or it can be used to knock them out of position to allow your teammates to kill them a lot easier. As you can see in the gameplay in the background, on a map like Shambali where there's not many places that you can get environmental kills, I use boop to knock enemies out of position and off the payload, to buy my team more time to defend and get kills a lot easier. My third tip for learning how to play Lucio is to learn when to use Sound Barrier, your ultimate. Sound Barrier is an amazing ult because it gives both you and your teammates an extra chunk of health for a short period of time. This means that you can completely counter some enemy ults that deal a lot of damage, like Orisa's Terror Surge and Junkrat's Riptire. Alternatively, you can use this with a teammate's ult to make sure they're able to get kills whilst it's active, like giving Genji and Ramatra extra health in their ults. It's honestly one of the strongest ults in the game, and if used well, it can be responsible for your team winning entire matches. So make sure you know when to ult and that everyone actually gets affected by it so you can steamroll your enemies with ease. My fourth and final tip for learning how to play Lucio is to use your amp as much as possible. It's no secret that at base value, Lucio's healing is dreadful. It's good because it heals everyone in the effective radius, but oh my god is it slow. This is why you should use amp as and when you get it. 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be in a fight, so both you and your teammates are gonna need as much support as they can get. And since your role is literally called support, it is your job to provide that support. Not only should you use amp to heal though, you can use it on speed boost to help your teammates get out of fights much easier and back to the objective or the rest of your team faster, allowing you to be grouped up ready for the next team fight. And that just about does it for my guide on learning how to play Lucio. Overall, he's a great support character and usually gets overlooked by a lot of the community. because most of the time he gets treated as the funny frog character, when in reality he can actually steamroll entire enemy backlines all by himself if played correctly. I mean, just look at Frogger. The guy plays Lucio religiously, even in contenders, and he absolutely smokes the enemy team most of the time. Should you start learning Lucio? Yes, absolutely. Compared to the other support heroes in the game, he is quite literally built different in terms of how he's played and how he adds value to any team that he's on. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Once again, I'm going to ask you to like this video, as it lets me know that you find these videos not only to be helpful, but entertaining. Let me know if you have any other requests for heroes in the comments below, and subscribe so you don't miss that guide when it comes out. There are some heroes that I probably won't be able to make a guide on, simply because I don't play them enough. But there are many more heroes on the list that I can make guides on than I can't make guides on. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.